Okay, hello everyone and welcome to the part 5 of our assignment stakeholder presentation by Team Exile. So my name is Badiu and joining with me today is Valencia and Goe. So the agenda for today is the first one is we are going to talk about the background of this project and then we'll move on to the project plan and then we'll finish off with the closing remarks. So the first three here is the first part of the presentation, which is directed to the analytics manager. And the last two, which is guided dashboard walkthrough and the future opportunities is the second part of this presentation, which is directed more towards the client. Okay, so first we look at the background of the project. So to start off with, what problems did the client face? So we were actually required to find a solution for the financial management of the ETW Corporation because the current practice of the ETW Corporation's finance team involves sharing spreadsheets which actually contain sensitive information via Outlook. Moreover, reproducibility and standardization is often not possible in their current in their current financial practice. And the second question here is which part of the business was affected? So according to the project report, the finance department of the ETW Corporation was affected the most as the current issue at hand is poor financial management in the corporation. So which brings us to the final question, what was the proposed plan? So what our team did was we created a dashboard using Power BI where we entered all the financial information and we included three main tabs in the Power BI, which are the financial performance tab, the cash moments tab, and the last tab was the invoice tab, which was actually requested by the client after we started the project. The ETW Corporation can they can use this Power BI dashboard to get their information quickly, more safely, and more efficiently. So now we'll move on to the number 2 on the agenda, which is project plan. So first we are going to look at the estimated and the final time frame and budget of the project. The estimated duration of the project was 31.5 days. However, we were able to complete the project in 29.5 days. So this is mainly because we were able to complete certain tasks ahead of time. And looking at the budget, the estimated budget that we were given was 23,050 ringgits. But our final budget cost came up to 21,000 ringgits, which is lower than the estimated amount. This may be due to the reason that I mentioned before, which was cut in duration. So since we reduced the time of the project completion, it took less days than anticipated, which also reduced the overall cost. So next we'll look at some of the discrepancies. So our project final time frame was earlier and we were actually below our estimated budget as well. So this is mainly because the changes in the changes in individual task durations. We were able to complete certain tasks ahead of time, hence finishing a bit earlier than estimated. And because we cut down on the number of days a bit, we were also able to cut down some costs as well, which led to a lower budget cost overall. And some other discrepancies also include additional predecessors and new tasks which we had to add as the progress grew along. all of this combined affected the estimated and final time frame and budget. So we were actually given a new task, or let's say an additional work, which was to include the invoice tab in our Power BI dashboard. So some of the issues caused by an additional task mid-project was that it delayed a project a bit, and also it is an additional task to do for a small team, as we only had 3 members working on this project. And by adding an additional task, we were spread a bit thin, meaning that we had to work a bit harder to complete the additional tasks as well. So if the client had included this additional task at the initial project requirement at the start, before we actually started the project, we could have planned ahead a bit so that we won't be too overwhelmed, and it would have been a bit easier for us as well. So I'll pass it on to Valencia for the third number on the agenda.
Okay. Hi, I'm Valencia and I will be presenting on closing remarks. So in conclusion, we have successfully created a program to modernize the financial management practice of ETW Corporation through the use of data and advanced analytics by using Power BI and MS Project. So what did we learn? From this project, we learned to successfully work with Power BI and MS Project. We learned that we learned how to do visualization with Power BI, and then we also learn how to manage the data and divided work using MS Project. This experience will improve our knowledge for these two platforms, and in our next project we will able to do better, and then we already familiar with these two platforms. And also we learn to collaborate with a team in the completion of the project successfully. From this project we learned that collaboration has a huge impact and a huge role to the final result of the project. A good collaboration among the team will lead us to a good result of our final project, and then we also will able to finish the project earlier than estimated time. Next slide, please. Okay, for the recommendation, we recommend the analytic manager to provide a bigger working team for our project. A bigger working team, so each member can responsible for less tasks, so we can be more focused on improvement and innovation and idea instead of catching the deadline. And a bigger working team also allow us to sharing ideas and innovation among the team member widely, and so we can produce a better result for our project. And then we also recommend the analytic manager to providing better resources and facilities that we can be used for completing the project on time. Okay, I think that's all for the closing remark. I will pass to my team member Lowe to presenting on guided dashboard.
Hold on, you're muted.
Yeah, I'll present my part on the Power BI, and I'll explain what we did and how it will solve your corporate EW conversion problem. Okay, the TW Corporation wanted a centralized information system, and we did exactly that. And we also took up the invoices tab. As such, you can thank us for that and be happy. Okay, now this is the main tab, and let's start with entering the financial performance tab. Okay, the first thing we can look at is the financial performance tab provides all the information that you requested for us in the sense of the total revenue, total cost, key metrics of September in here. The way you operate this is that if you want to have the year selected and look at all the year, you can just look at this. It switches to all values to 2021, but this doesn't switch. The key metric of September right here doesn't switch. This can serve as additional as a baseline, and also like if you have October, November, you can take a look at this and serve as a baseline if you choose to. But it's also an option for you. And if you want to change these values, you can go into filters and select the date and year right here. Just be aware that this is as you can just change the values as you please if you are the client or whatever. Okay, so that's it. And for the key metrics performance, and we also did quite a few things which not requested for us. We also included the operating expense ratio, additional ratios, which as a finance team you might require. So it allows you to get a better understanding of the financial situation at hand. And the reason why we did all these charts, combine them together, is so that you can take a look at this, right? You can just have a look right here. Okay, this is for July 21, the cost of goods sold, the gross profit, and the net profit over time. And you can see like how the charts moving up. Therefore, these are very valuable information for the financial performance team. And just to recap, you can just click all and just play around the years, That's it for the financial performance tabs. Now let's move on to the cash performance tab. Now the cash performance tab contains the total cash received, cash performance over time, so that you can keep track of all your cash performance in and out. Cash received, cash spent, cash opening, cash closing, and also we also included a total cash by the bank account number. So if the India Corporation want to know how much total amount is in your bank account, the certain amount, example, at year 2021, then just click here, select year, and select month, and click September. Now this will give you the value only for September. Oh, I guess mistake here. Yeah. You have to deselect this and click September. So it will just give you the value for September, in and out. See that? How useful is that for a financial corporation which wants to keep track of its cash movements? Now, we also took up the invoices tab, as we mentioned before. The invoices tab, we include multiple things, which is the invoice tab of accounts payable total, awaiting payments for all of them, for all data tables, and including some visualizations like by each corporation is how much is overdue, how much is outstanding, and what's the total invoice amount. So this gives you about visualization, like your finance invoice team can take a look and they can get a rough idea of how much who to pay, how much we overdue, how much outstanding. For the account receivables and for the account payables, we also did the same thing. Now you can take a look at here. It also works the same. There's a date slicer. You can play with it, move it back and forth, and it will update the date and it will tell you how much waiting payment. It takes quite a while to load. Yeah, see that? It'll tell you how much for the accounts payable. There's 10 awaiting payment, 25 paid, and if you put the vote, how much is 10 paid. And we also created a slicer under the accounts payable contact name, which tells you which company who owns XYZ. For example, if I want to switch to know which Bayside Wholesale, for the accounts payable, all the values here will switch. One payment, this guy here, yeah, quite interesting, wouldn't you agree? As such, we created a tab for you to play around and check a look for your invoices team, and this will solve the invoices team's problem, because invoices team, you have to look through the Excel. You might not know you might want to know who to pay, when to pay, and how to pay it. As such, that's the introduction for our and walkthrough for our financial Power BI. Now, the closing remarks, we will move on to the future operating speech. Okay, if the corporation gives us a balance sheet, we can actually give us a valuable information. We can actually produce a balance sheet for you. Since you're also experienced in Power BI and data visualization and project management, you can hire us to do any future projects, maybe for your accounting team, marketing team, whatsoever. We are also experienced team with finance major, as Abdul is management and IT, and Valencia and me is the finance and BA major. So our skills in finance and management and IT could help this EW corporation a lot in the next couple of years. If you have any projects whatsoever, come and call us. And we also have, as such, since we're also finance majors, right, we also understand financial problems, and we can help you not just maybe building financial dashboards, we can build financial systems, also whatsoever. So I guess that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.